Dazai's birthday! Happy birthday! Did you really think that this was going to be a normal cooking video with ASMR throughout? This is a special for Dazai's birthday, which means special commentary for Dazai. But also, I just had to mute most of my footage because of loud background noises I just noticed as I was editing, so I'll be voiceovering all of my footage. To be honest, I had nothing really in mind to talk about, so I'll just do something fun for Dazai's birthday and talk about small actions he does that speaks about his character as a whole and, well, makes him Dazai. As well as also talk about the cake from time to time since my footage can get pretty sketchy, but there's a method to my madness. So it's basically Dazai Appreciation Day, and no, I didn't forget about the real Dazai Osamu too. Happy birthday to him especially, being the original source for the character we know and adore in the anime. And if you haven't read his works, they're really worth the read. So the first action I'll mention is how Dazai brought Chuya to the arcade in the 15 arc. If you're not really familiar with that, Dazai and Chuya first met in the Port Mafia, and around this time Dazai brought Chuya to an arcade to play a video game. And although Dazai ends up rigging the game so that he would win and Chuya would purposely lose, this gave them a sense of normalcy as 15-year-olds and just gave them a normal moment in their childhood as if they weren't part of a criminal organization, and just allowing them to enjoy their moment as actual teenagers. Second honorary mention is Dazai getting AHHH his belt. So if you didn't know, each piece of clothing AHHH wears was given to him as a gift by each member of the Armed Detective Agency. And I'll flash the official art here. Dazai was responsible for getting the long belt he wears now, which resembles a tiger tail. So although it seems like the most useless piece of clothing he wears, essentially I guess this is Dazai's way of telling AHHH that yes, your ability is being a were-tiger, and he needs to embrace it, be proud of it since it is a part of him. And we know for a fact, AHHH struggles with liking his ability. He's never been particularly proud of it. I mean, half of Dead Apple's plot consisted of AHHH having a love-hate relationship with the tiger. But anyways, Dazai gave him the belt to show that his ability is being a were-tiger, and yeah, he should just embrace it as a part of him. Next is Dazai neatly folding Chuya's coat and putting it together with his hat after his fight with Lovecraft, where he was completely passed out. Take the situation however you want. What I got from it was that Dazai actually stuck around after he passed out to make sure that no one was going to attack him as he was defenseless, and he had some time to fold his coat, and this shows that he wasn't cold-hearted enough to just leave his ex-partner and probably friend behind to be attacked. Of course, I cannot explain every single little action Dazai does, since his way of thinking is just as elusive to us the audience as it is to the other characters in the series. Not to mention, I'm just super tired right now, so I don't have the brain power to analyze anymore. So I'll just give a list of memorable facts that we know about him from the main series and from Bungo Stray Dogs 1, the chibi version, of which these facts just make you forget for a moment that he's one of the most intelligent and most manipulative characters, that even Mori is afraid of him. So let's start off with the fact that he cannot drive. If you read the light novel Dazai's entrance exam, I think that's what it was, he cannot drive and Kunakita does not want to be in the same car as him when he does. Also, we know he isn't necessarily the best cook in the world. His food tends to be disastrous or just plain out weird, I think. And he's only confirmed to be able to make tea on rice. But aside from that, no fancy dishes. Also, we know that he isn't the best drawer, and his drawings tend to become kind of creepy or scary, that even Elise was afraid of it when he drew. Because of how hot it is, the frosting became literal sludge, but I placed it in the fridge and it came out normal after a while. Okay, so random commentary as I show the cake for the next couple of seconds, or minute, I don't know. But Dazai would have actually made a really good actor, just saying, since I guess we all know he can easily change his behavior on a whim. He can easily portray a role that he needs to portray. Especially if you read the light novel for his entrance exam, you'll see there that he can easily pretend to be someone that he isn't and completely carry out the role perfectly, as if that was actually him. So yeah, if he wasn't in the Armed Detective Agency, he would have been a perfect actor in the world of Bungo Stray Dogs. Just a random thought I had. Okay, back to a bit of some cake commentary. I was able to place the frosting in the fridge for a couple minutes, so it had a thicker consistency, but it was still a bit melty, especially when I placed it on the cake, since the cake was still warm. Nonetheless, I knew it was going to get better if I placed it in the fridge later, so I didn't really mind it. It was just really painful to place the frosting on the actual cake, since 1, the cake was still warm, so it melted the frosting, and 2, the weather here is severely hot. So that paired with the warm cake just made it superbly runny until I placed it in the freezer, and yeah. So I was able to place the cake in the fridge for a couple of minutes and added the frosting while it was in there. As you can see, it was still a bit melty, but better than it used to be. I was able to place a happy birthday sign, sorta, on it, and it just kind of sunk in, and when I tried fixing it, yeah, it did not work. The cake's supposed to come out like this, though, so yeah.